getting hit multiple times coming out of that bike section. More drivers coming to blows.
Greetings, race fans, and welcome back for this week's coverage of Sim Racers Group Formula 3 on SMB. JR Gregory here with you on the call alongside tonight's producer, Mike Braun, who will also be putting his 2 cents in here and there. And week 4 of the 2026 Season 2 brings us stateside to Road America, located outside Elkhart Lake in the Kettle Moraine region of Wisconsin. In the early 1950s, the town had been host to annual sports car races, which were then conducted on public roads, but safety concerns led to construction of a permanent road course in 1955. And over the ensuing 70-plus years, Road America has played host to NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, and a full slate of amateur track days. Today's configuration, 4 miles, 6.5 clicks, 14 corners, and our record of 141.874 set all the way back in 1998 by Alex Zanardi in a Reynard kart car. So, Mike, Road America is an icon of American motorsports. It's also one of those tracks, free content on iRacing, and that means that we have all had thousands upon thousands of laps built up at Road America over the years. So when we come to tracks where everybody has a high level of experience and a high level of seat time, it can be hard to find ways to set yourself apart. So what do you think these drivers are going to have to do to find success out here tonight?
No, this is one of those tracks, like you said. This is one that everybody's run at a million times. And I mean, as you can see on the board there, the gap, I mean, you got your top 15 or less than 1 second separating. So this is probably one of the tightest fields that we've seen so far this season. Should be some great action, but it's definitely going to be a big draft-heavy track. You got those long straightaways like you see coming right down the hill right here. This is going to be a good passing zone for these guys. So you got this straightaway, and then you got the front straight that's big, long uphill. So some great opportunities for some drafting, and it's definitely I'm really excited to see this with the top 15 within 1 second right now.
Yeah, it is going to be some intense battling out here, and just saw Eggert there rolling down the hill, down the Moraine Straight into Turn 5. You mentioned the heaviest braking zone on the track out here, and what I like to see out here, Mike, is sometimes you see some pretty aggressive defense heading into Turn 5, drivers trying to cover the inside. The outside is so wide right there. If somebody in front of you is too aggressive on defense, you can really open up the entry. Great place to get a little over-under move going there. And the same holds true if somebody dive bombs you on the inside. You can get them right back on that short run between 5 and 6. So there's definitely going to be a lot of action up there, to say nothing of Turn 1. Called a race here a couple weeks ago and saw plenty of contested entries into Turn 1, lots of side-by-side action there. So it should be a really good fight out here tonight. And my goodness, you're right about those intervals. 0.916 covering the top 15 cars, and this is a pretty competitive field, but that is definitely the tightest set of times that we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, no, it's this is going to be fun, and let's see what the track temp is going to be. That's one of the fun things about me being double duty tonight. And there it is. It's only going to be 71 degrees right now, so that's going to lead to being some good traction for these guys. It's not going to be too greasy, and it should lead to some even better racing with these guys. But like we said, the draft heavy, it's going to be strong. One of probably the heaviest ones that we've had so far this season, as we're coming up on week 4 here. I mean, Sebring was good, but I really think that the draft is going to be a lot stronger on this track.
Yeah, and very interesting stuff. And of course, that makes that final corner, that's Turn 14 onto the pit straight, super critical to get a good exit right there. That corner has always kind of been a thorn in my side to be consistent. Very hard to hit that one right. Got to be very, very precise and not over slow there. Get on the power early. So here we go, folks. Here is the grid for our first of 2 races tonight on Slow Motion Broadcasting. A 15-minute heat. This one will set the order for the 25-minute feature to follow. But up front, it is Jason Green and Stephen Case, the only 2 drivers to appear twice on the podium so far in this young season. Then it's Lynn Lotto next to Chris Eggert in row 2. Kalen Mikovits will line up next to Vroom Bali in 5 and 6. Then Kenan Miller next to Danush Paborji in row 4. Then it's Tyrone De Silva next to Lloyd Conway. Alex Velasco will line up next to Josh Corwin in row 6. Then we have Adrian Lopez next to Jason Cotcher. Chris Wang next to Jose Navas in row 8. Diego Posada will line up next to Michelle Lynn in 17 and 18. Then it's Thomas Brashear next to Jacob Guyton. Rafael Cardenas next to Kulkaran Dillon. And newcomer Dustin Braun will line up next to Ken Glasser there in row 12. And we are just about to get this one underway. iRacing is going to force the start here in about 45 seconds. Could be sooner, though, if some of these lollygaggers get on the grid sooner, as you see them popping on. And let's see, yeah, there is Jason Green there in that very tasteful Slow Motion Broadcasting green and black Dallara F3 car. He will have the advantage going down the straightaway into Turn 1, but that outside move around Turn 1, eminently doable here, Mike, at Road America, especially if folks are being a little hesitant, a little overcautious on cold tires.
No, absolutely, and this is going to be a great run down into Turn 1 as we're starting to get gridded up here all the rest of the way. I'll let you lead them down here, down into the front straightaway, Jared.
All right, here we go. We should have the lights here any second. And bang, there we go. Barney a little late with the flag waving, but we are off and running at Road America. And Green is going to cover that inside. You see Case sniffing around the outside. Our timing and scoring has Case actually slightly in the lead as they enter turn one. And I told you that outside move was doable, and it is done. It is Case from Green from Chris Eggert, who managed to get past Max Linlotto from Kalen Mikovits. A pretty clean start. Don't see any kerfufflage so far. Looks like Josh Corwin might have had a problem. He is down 8. But right now, here we go down the Moraine sweep for the first time. And Case definitely getting a very good start, getting a jump on Jason Green. And here we go, 2 and 3 wide the first time. Oh, and somebody's turned. That is Mikovits. Mikovits has come together with Kenan Miller coming down the hill into turn 5. Mikovits up and up towards the pointy end of the field in terms of season scoring. So Mikovits did not want that to happen here in the heat, as that's going to send him way, way down the order. And my gosh, yeah, Miller is down 12 and Mikovits down 6. That could have been worse, I guess, for Mikovits, who only fell to P11. But we'll see whether or not that F3 car has been damaged. It looks, speaking of damage, looks like Chris Wang has taken a tow, and we will try to go back and see what happened there. If Mike's head doesn't explode here, doing commentary and production, which is something that I could never do. But here we go, Canada corner for the first time, and it is still Green. Case from Green from Eggert, from Polly, from Poborgi. Poborgi's got a charge going up 3, and down in P8, Jason Cotcher up 6. And the meatballs starting to pile up a little bit. Looks like Navas and Posada had an issue, and they'll be joining Chris Wang on that long flatbed ride back to the pits here at Road America.
Yeah, let's go back and see what, after we get the first lap in here, and maybe see if anybody's going to make a move here. Poborgi looking on the inside here, trying to make a move into turn 1. Just can't quite get it done. But let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Kellen and Kenan here. Looks like one of them got locked up coming into the hairpin there. Looks like Kenan Miller getting a little locked up coming into there and got into Kellen Mikovits. So just a tough break for those guys. Yeah, just one of those deals. It's cold tires, hard brakes, and it just kind of leads into no good.
Yeah, and might need to see that from with the focus on Miller. I'm not sure if he had help there, but definitely you could see him kind of over-rotating and careening on the entry to turn 5. He was taking a very shallow entry, and as I said, might have had a tap on his way in, but definitely did not work out the way he wanted. Miller down 13 and dragging Mikovits chunk down with him, with Mikovits losing 7. And it looks like Case starting to drive off here. Case has got about a 4/10 gap on Jason Green, and I'll tell you what, Mike, the draft radius on these cars, I'm going to say, is about 0.6 or 0.7. You can stretch to 0.8 or 0.9. You can drive off if you're in the position of Stephen Case. So that is what he is trying to do. But look at Green. Green taking advantage of that draft down the back straight, doing a great job managing that gap here. And as I said, critical point right here. You've got to get a good exit on turn 14, get a good run up that pit straight, and watch our timing and scoring. Case got a very good drive out of there, but nonetheless, Green getting sucked up behind him. It was 0.3 when they exited, under 0.2 now, down to 0.1. Case is not even going to try to cover the inside here, and going to give Green a free run, and it is Jason Green from Case from Eggert this time, and this kind of feels, Mike, like a game of leapfrog might be happening here. Another drafting opportunity and passing opportunity coming right now on this run between turn 3 and turn 5 down the Moraine sweep.
Yeah, and I think Chris Eggert's going to be doing the smartest thing on the track right now, is just hanging on to whoever's wing is right in front of him and just trying to just hang on to this draft. As you see Stephen Case taking a little look down on the inside of Green. Couldn't quite get it done, but I think he's just toying with him right now. as you know, we're only 5 minutes into this heat race, and the position between the two of them, only difference is an inside or outside for the start of the feature. Since the top 6 invert, it will put them on that third row. So it's really not much different between the two of them. And I think Eggert's just going to biding his time and just watching to see if he can learn anything from these two guys up front.
Yeah, too right. And Eggert doing a good job. A little train breaking away up here. These 3 cars covered by 0.6 of a second. They've dumped Max Linlotto to the tune of 3 seconds. And Eggert absolutely has the popcorn seat. And I'll tell you what, Mike, I have called races here before at Road America. A twofer on the last lap is definitely not out of the question. A couple of really good passing opportunities are presented to these drivers on each and every lap. So if Eggert can hang tough here and capitalize on the draft, capitalize maybe on some fighting up front, he could end up crossing the line in P1. And oh, by the way, taking a look back at that sweet spot, P6, because the top 6 will invert, now being held by Varun Bali with about a 1 second gap back to De Silva. And here is Stephen Case. He is going to try the inside, and I shouldn't even call it a try. It is, as Yoda would say, do not try, do. And Stephen Case gets it done there along the pit straight, but green right there. And again, we'll have another opportunity down here into turn 5.
Yeah, no, it's some great battles right now as you got we jump back into that 4th, 5th, and 6th spot. So this is your final your transfer position. The top 6 will invert going into that next race. And right now, like you said, Varun Bali's sitting in the bird's nest right now, sitting on pole. But as you see, Max Linlotto and Danush Paborji going at it. Paborji showing them elbows coming down in there, holding that inside line on Max. And Max is is very apropos per his name, just like Max Verstappen. He is a very aggressive driver and likes to put it in there sometimes where it may not always belong. But he is extremely fast and shows it down as Danush looking in on the inside as well, trying to hold on with Varun Bali. He's still trying to hang on to that 6th spot, so trying to hold that pole position for the final. And he's got Danush right ahead of him. But look right behind him, Tyrone De Silva, not too far back in that 7th spot.
Yeah, and great driving by Linlotto. That was actually nuts. Paborji had that move done into turn 5. It sure looked like, but Linlotto hanging on, sticks that car down the inside of turn 6. Very, very difficult. Woo! And there's a little wiggle right there from Bali, and that's going to put De Silva up into that sweet P6. But again, Linlotto stayed with Paborji, got his car side by side into turn 6. Very, very difficult spot there in terms of coming over that rise, trying to put the power down, trying to get the car rotated just as it lightens up there, and fought back and didn't give up right there. A lot of drivers not willing to try the inside of turn 6, and Linlotto showing some great car control there. And this battle here continuing, that is Bali versus Tyrone De Silva now, as De Silva sniffing around at that P6, and laps going by very, very quickly here. Or actually, time is going by quickly. Laps, not so much. A 2-minute lap around here, as you can see from our timing tower. So these 15-minute heats are not going to amount to a lot of laps and are not going to amount to a lot of passing opportunities. So these drivers going to need to strike here, Mike, while the iron's hot.
No, absolutely. But I wanted to give a shout out to probably our biggest mover right now. You've got Dustin Braun looking on the inside, hard under brakes, goes on the inside of Jacob Guyton, and Guyton gets a little sideways. But Dustin Braun up 9 spots. He's coming to us from the running a clean through the F4. Impressive showing also with the SRG Endurance team. So Dustin moving up from F3 into the F4, and this is his first soiree, as you would like to say, with this group, and he's holding it down pretty good in the 14th spot.
Yeah, some chatter on the Sim Racers group Discord about Braun, and some moaning and groaning that he was going to be showing up here for his inaugural race tonight, and you're seeing why. Up 9 positions here in just 9 minutes of this heat race. So the competitors here, Sim Racers Group, expecting Braun to get stuff done, and meanwhile, stuff getting spicy up front. That is Case from Green from Eggert, and you saw a little bit of interesting side-by-side action there through Bill Mitchell. You don't see a lot of side-by-side there. Things can be a little wacky coming out of Canada Corner through Thunder Valley and up through Bill Mitchell Bend. It's another place with some difficult camber, and you're fighting to keep the car on the track, usually not fighting for position there. But Green is no stranger to fighting this season. He has showed up to play this season. And as I said, one of two drivers to have 2 podium appearances. And there's some more side-by-side action. Again, that is, my gosh, I'm completely lost now. That is De Silva now. In this crazy battle. That is all for P6. That sweet spot that we talked about is Bali from De Silva, from Lopez, from Velasco. Mikovits sniffing around there as well. So that is a 5-car train for that sweet spot in P6, and things getting spicier. And a little wheel banging there. Oof. Oh, my goodness. Elbows out. That is Lopez on Velasco. And Velasco, I think, being fairly aggressive there, and I think that was Lopez being aggressive and Velasco getting the short end of that encounter.
Yeah, it looked like De Silva getting the short end of that one. Trying to get where I can show the replay here. Give me 2 seconds here. And we got a little bit of elbows out, and then De Silva just locking it up, and just I think it was just unexpected for him to get tapped like that. And he's, these non-ABS cars, if you get a little too heavy on that brake, they'll lock her up and they'll chase you around.
And back to Lopez now. Lopez got Kalen Mikovits sniffing around. Mikovits is going to take a run down the inside of Canada Corner, and look out. Velasco is right there as well. Velasco wanting to follow Mikovits through Bill Mitchell Bend, and taking a look at Mikovits leading Lopez and Alex Velasco. That is about 5/10 covering those 3 cars, and that is a battle for P7. And you got to think that Bali is liking what he's seeing on his relative as these 3 cars fighting behind him. He's able to stretch out that gap. Normally they would be cranking down on this long pit straight, and Mikovits now is going to have Lopez testing him on the outside of turn 1. Velasco in the popcorn seat there to pick up the pieces if things go south. Still fight there, and Mikovits will have the inside into turn 3 here, and the battle rages on. And what is Lopez going to do here, or what is Velasco going to do here with this draft? He could potentially get a twofer here. I told you twofers were possible in a lap here, and here we go, 3 wide down the marine sweep, a cloud of smoke and a yellow flag out now, and that is not what these drivers wanted to see. That is Poborgi. Something has happened with Poborgi. They managed to get through him, but so far it is Mikovits from Lopez from Velasco, and Poborgi's mishap will put Lopez now in that P6 right when it looked like it was going to fall into Mikovits' hands. It is Lopez with about 2 minutes remaining. That is 1 or 2 laps now, and Lopez right now has got to be thinking about hanging on to that P6 to get the pole in the feature.
Let's see if I can see here what happened. Oh, he got tangled up. Let's go back one more. And is that Max? He got tangled up? It is. Max Linlotto and him got tangled up. And let's go back even a little. Yeah, they just got together, come down into the braking zone. I can't get any farther back than that. But, yeah, they got tangled up in the braking zone. Both of those guys were in the top 3, top 4. And that's going to knock them all the way down into the end of the list right now. But still, great battle as we're coming up on the white flag right now, this time by.
Yeah, crazy stuff there. Linlotto and Poborgi, both willing fighters, and Poborgi a pretty stout defender. And you got to wonder, Mike, if that time it was the stout defense of Poborgi coming up against the aggression of Linlotto, touching wheels down there on the marine sweep. And you saw the result. It is a yard sale of Dallara F3 parts down there into turn 5. And again, that elevated everybody behind that whole situation. It is Green. And meanwhile, Green has gotten back by Stephen Case. It is Green from Case from Eggert. You're seeing that right here as Green will try to cover the inside, defend against Case going into turn 5. And now is this Eggert's opportunity to make something happen here as Case and Eggert will go into turn 6 side by side. And, a little wiggle there by Eggert. And that's the spot that I guess that was Lynn Lotto fighting back against Poborgi right there a couple laps ago. You saw why that is so difficult, why I shouted that one out. It's very tough to rotate cars around there. Very easy to get loose right there. But Jason Green now only has to hang on for a very short time. Case will have another crack at him, of course, coming off of these back straight here into Canada Corner. Let's see what happens. Watch that interval. It's 0.3 right now as they come out of the kink, dropping rapidly now. 0.2, now under 0.2. Green moves over to cover the inside. Outside move into Canada possible here, but Case decides to take a pass. So looks like Green is going to hang on for the P1 here. Green from Case, from Eggert, but some very spicy and enthusiastic racing up front here. And if Case gets a good drive here, the draft is going to work. We could have something tight here, Mike, at the line, although interval not dropping as quickly as it would need to give Case the win. But Green is going to take it, and here is some more side-by-side action. That is Lopez and Velasco, less than a tenth between those two. And Lopez is going to come out on top and going to come out by virtue of that P6 pole position for the feature. And what a race here in the heat race as the driver's still coming across. Here comes Dustin Braun up 12. As Mike was saying, our hard charger, you see Michelle Lynn coming across, De Silva, Dillon, Guyton, Cardenas. And some more side-by-side action and very close finishes there in the heat. But, Mike, you called it. We are going to see some great racing here at Road America. If that heat is any kind of indication, hang on, buckle up, take your bio breaks now, hit the fridge, because this 25-minute feature coming up next on Slow Motion Broadcasting is going to be a burner.
Yeah, like we said in the roll-up to this is, everybody's got so much experience here that the confidence level is so high with everybody that, they're not afraid to make these moves. They're not afraid to stick the wing down on the inside of somebody coming into their hairpin or something. But this is the tightest field we've seen so far this season, and maybe even into last season. Your top four in qualifying were less than a tenth of a second separating. That's going to lead to some great racing action. And you saw that top three, Green, Case, and Eggert, were nose to tail that entire time.
My goodness. And I'm not sure if I have ever seen this, Mike. I'm looking at timing and storing right now. Our last place finisher, Danush Poborgi, the fastest lap in the field of 157.5. So Poborgi had the pace there and had some bad luck. We didn't get a great look at what happened between he and Lynn Lotto, but certainly the stewards are going to be taking a look at that, and that may be costly to one or potentially both of those drivers. But while we take a little breather here between our heat race and our feature, let's take a look at the season standings. It's Jason Green from Case, from Danush Poborgi, from Jason Cotcher, from Chris Eggert being your top five, and pretty tight field up there. Only 11 between Green and Case, and take a look at that little stretch there between Eggert, De Silva, Lynn Lotto, Corwin, just a handful of points separating these folks. And my gosh, get down to P10, P11, and still well over 100. P16 is over 100 points. So very, very tight competitive field. And as we said, we're not seeing the same drivers up top continuously. Nobody is dominating this one, and that is going to make for a fantastic season here. And let's take a quick look at the team points as well. The green cars, that is Green and Josh Corwin. The Dillon Case, I'm going to make you guess that one. The IVRT Reunion Tour there in P3 is Cotcher and Eggert. The Michigan-Oklahoma connection is Poborgi and Lopez, and Tilex Delasco, which may be my favorite name this time around, is De Silva and Velasco. So, yeah, they've added two driver teams to the mix here in F3 last couple of seasons just to add some spice to the proceedings. Worked out pretty well. Pretty fun to be out there driving with the teammate and rooting for one of your competitors. So glad that they did that. But we have got, Mike, about a 2-minute warm-up, or 2 minutes into our 5-minute warm-up period here. And what are your takeaways from a very, very racy heat race?
No, it basically, I mean, it's the same thing as what we led up to. It was very tight racing. And like I said, it's a lot of confidence with these guys knowing their way around. As you said, free content on the event, on the service. Everybody's been on this track a million times. It's super long, so you get a chance to take a breath, and you're able to relax for a minute and think about what you're doing. It's not like it's only a minute 10-second lap. These guys are doing it in over 2 minutes, so they got lots of time. You got a long straightaways that you can run on, and I mean it's led to some great racing, and I'm looking forward to see what it looks like when we get into the final. But as we're on board with Kent Glasser, I think he's one of the only ones on the track right now. We can see him in just that long front straightaway. You wait till about the 1.5 cone here, get a little on the brakes, hit that apex, get on the throttle as soon as you can. Come down here, probably just past the 2 board here. Little light brakes, downshift. You want to hit that apex, but this is another long straightaway. You get a good run off of here. And JR, you get a good run down this hill and down into the next section, you'll be golden.
Yeah, and this is really one of the places where a lot of action happens, and we saw it a little bit in the heat race, and we're going to continue to see that. But Mike, really interesting point about the kind of breathing time that you get at a track like Road America. Some tracks, things are just coming at you fast and furious. You have to react. And this track really gives you those pauses and gives you time to plan your strategy, because there is a lot of strategy here, like any track with a big draft. You're counting down the laps to the end. You don't want to be in P1 on the last lap, because you're going to get smoked on one of these long straightaways. And really have to a little bit more of a game of chess out here than we normally see at Road America, maybe because drivers have a chance to breathe and really think and plan their next move instead of reacting. So very good insight right there. And we are going to get, looks like we've got about 30 seconds remaining, and we're going to get our feature race underway. Looking forward to it.
No, absolutely. But, as we've talked about multiple times, SRG is a brick and mortar store up in San Jose, and you yourself have been there, JR, for an event, and speak highly of what these guys have set up there.
Yeah, it is truly fantastic. If you're in the Bay Area, this is on the east side of San Jose, right off the 101, just south of the 680 interchange. And they've got a dozen or so high-quality sim rigs. And if you've always wanted to see what it's like to drive a race car in one of these good simulators without making the investment yourself, stop by. And a very friendly group of people, very helpful. They'll coach you, help you get faster. And it really is a fantastic little facility there. And we here at Slow Motion Broadcasting really very pleased to be partners with Sim Racers Group as we are broadcasting some of their league events here on SMB. But here we go. We talked about Lopez managed to squeak his way onto the pole. It's Lopez next to Mikovits up front, and Mikovits has got to be loving that. He is one of our fast runners, and he is going to have a crack at winning out of that P2. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that right now. Then it's Bali next to Chris Eggert. Stephen Case will line up next to Green in 5 and 6. Then it's Alex Velasco next to Lloyd Conway. Jason Cotcher will line up next to Josh Corwin in row 5. Then Dustin Brown next to Michelle Lynn. Tyrone De Silva will line up next to Colquhoun Dillon in row 7. Jacob Guyton next to Rafael Cardenas. Kenan Miller, after that mishap in the heat, will line up next to Jose Navas in row 9. Then Max Lin-Lato next to Diego Posada. Chris Wang next to Danush Boborgi. Then Brashear next to Glasser, bringing up the rear. And here we go. We are underway. And that is Lopez. He's going to have the inside. Mikovits will move over and tuck in behind, and look at that swarm of cars coming down the hill into turn one. Lopez now has got the inside there. Something has happened as you see a cloud of dust come out of the kitty litter. That looks like Dylan Cardenas and perhaps Poborgi involved in that as well. But Lopez has got Mikovits all over him like the plastic on grandma's couch. And here we go down the Marine sweep. Mikovits got a good run out of turn 3, but Lopez will have the inside, and we'll see what they choose to do here. Mikovits will way widen out the entrance to the turn 5, and Mikovits is going to get through. Mikovits snatches that lead away from Lopez, although Lopez takes a peek down that inside of turn 6. Jason Green in the background making a move on Bali there too in turn 6. Man, oh man, I have never called the race with that much action there in turn 6. The hardest corner on this track, Mike.
No, absolutely. Especially on cold tires with no ABS, these things get a little scary. But big move already. You got Stephen Case moving from the 3rd row all the way up into the 3rd spot. He's left Chris Eggert and Jason Green in his dust. And, as we see Adrian Lopez going off the track, that's going to give Case a chance to go on the inside and move up to 2nd spot, even before we get into Canada corner, JR.
Yes, my goodness, Stephen Case on a charge here. And you know that Mikovits is watching his rearview mirror and wants Lopez and Eggert to give Case something other to do than to crank down that interval. Right now it's about 1.2 seconds. So Case out of draft range here. Mikovits is really going to want to put the hammer down out of turn 14. Get a good run up the hill, across start and finish, and down into turn 1. And he has done that. That gap grew to a 10th right there. So Mikovits doing a good job. He is going to be staring at that relative and watching his rearview mirror for the next 23 minutes. But Mikovits getting off on the right foot, absolutely certain, as that is Eggert going on the inside of Lopez now, I think.
Lopez on the inside.
Yeah, there we go. And Eggert completely lost what I'm looking at. Yeah, that is Eggert and Lopez there. My apologies. I'm on vacation and I had to wake up my brain for the show tonight with mixed results. But my goodness, here we go. 3 wide down the Marine sweep into turn 5. And that is Eggert on the inside, I believe, trying to get something done on Green. Green showing how it's possible to get a good drive, taking that wide line. Woo! Little wiggle there from Eggert, and Eggert is going to drop right out of that battle. And Green is going to breathe a sigh of relief as the pressure comes off.
Yeah, that was, as you called it, a 2-for-1 coming in into turn 6. Jason Green going around the outside, taking both of those guys in the draft zone and into that hard braking area and getting by. And he's already starting to leave them in the dust. But you got Kalen Mikovits out in front. He's still hanging on to that about 1.5 second gap back to Stephen Case in the 2nd spot. And then you got about 1.5 seconds back to JG2 in the 3rd spot. Vroom Bali up into 4th now. And then right on his heels, Adrian Lopez. But got some good battles back here with Joshua Corwin. Looks like a 3-way battle with these guys, with Eggert dropping all the way back to these guys. So Corwin in the green and white car, and then your favorite paint job in the game, Lloyd Conway, all the way up into the 8th spot.
And Eggert again washing out, and things going from bad to worse for Chris Eggert. And for whatever reason, maybe overdriving the car a little bit, trying to make something happen here early. You saw Eggert wash out of turn 14 there. And here we go, a potential 3-wide entry. That is Corwin Linlotto and maybe Dustin Braun. If I have that right, new liveries out there, and great car control and great trust that you're seeing up front there. Yeah, that is Conway from Corwin, from Linlotto, that battle for P6, and not too far behind newcomer Dustin Braun, who has already picked up 2. So remember, he started way in the back of the heat, picked up about 12, and is pushing his way into the top 10 now here in the feature race with plenty of time left. And you see Corwin there, a good boy so far, and we know that he wants to continue that trend. But yeah, that is who is. Yeah, that's Conway. Yeah, Conway in the yellow car, Corwin Lynn Lotto, Dustin Braun, Cotcher, Kenan Miller, who has made up some ground from the heat race. He's up 6 positions. Ken Glasser back in P16 is up 8 positions. And Thomas Brashear, I see a meatball on him. Something happened to Brashear. We'll see if we can figure that out. And also Velasco, something has happened with him, and that may have involved Brashear and Guyton. We'll see if we can piece that back together for you. But Velasco sitting way back of the field, having lost 15. So you know that had to be some kind of off or problem with those drivers.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what happened to Thomas Brashear here. Looks like coming down into turn 6 here. Get off. Oh man, that was who was that? Jacob Guyton, down on the inside there, and they just gets a little sideways, and Brashear goes flying around the outside of him. Kenan Miller. Oh no, Kenan.
Yeah, nothing Brashear could do there. And Brashear, whenever there's an unlucky moment like that, you know that Brashear is going to be around there somewhere. Maybe you should change his number to 13. But Brashear collecting another meatball there. And there is Bali against
Lopez.
Adrian Lopez right there. As those two drivers nose to tail heading down the rain sweep into turn 4. And that is Lopez on the outside, Bali covering the inside. Lopez is going to try to get a driver on the outside and is going to get it done. And I would maybe squeeze him in. Yep. You watching Lopez make that outside line through turn 5 work. And I'll tell you, Mike, if you do a lot of laps and a lot of racing here at Road America, that is something that you have to learn, that alternate wide line around turn 5, because if somebody gets you on the inside there, you got to get the best exit you can, and you can still make something out of nothing right there, as you saw Bali do there.
No, absolutely. But this is also one of the sections right here we haven't really talked about at all, is that long carousel. You can set yourself up for this long straightaway by just sitting behind somebody, get as close as you can coming off that carousel, come through the kink, and then get through them down the straightaway coming into Canada Corner. So that's also a great opportunity for these guys, as you see Lloyd Conway back here trying to make a move. But right behind him is the big hard charger right now, Max Lotto, with a rough break in that first heat, knocked him all the way back to the back. He's up 11 spots in the 8th spot right now, looking to make his way up towards the front. But as speaking of the front, Kellen Mikowitz, look at this, 2.5-second gap on Stephen Case. He is pulling away, JR.
Mikowitz absolutely lit the wick. I told you that he needed to get away from Case, manage that gap behind, and he has absolutely done it. He's the fast man on the track right now with a 157.567 that time around, and has definitely come out here to play. And I'm not sure folks appreciate how hard it is to go fast with no one in front of you. It's often easier to chase and catch somebody than to just do fast laps on your own, especially when you have the likes of Stephen Case in your relative and in your rearview mirror. Critical for Mikowitz to put down fast and consistent laps and get away from Case, and he has absolutely answered the call. And about a third of the way through this one, Mikowitz looking absolutely fantastic up front here this evening.
Yeah, he totally is. And here comes Max Lotto coming around the outside, as we've talked about it a couple times. That outside of turn 6, Lotto up into the 7th spot, up 12 spots now. Lloyd Conway drops back into that 8th spot, right where he started the race. Oh, Lloyd getting off the track a little bit. Hang on there. Whoa. Whoa. Man, that was close.
Epic tank slapper there. When the dirt started coming up, I thought that was over. Incredible catch there by Conway. And Lynn Lotto, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't driven Road America, that turn 6, the apex over the top of the hill, a blind apex, the car lightens up right when you're trying to rotate. Very, very tough corner. And Lynn Lotto showing his absolute mastery of turn 6. We've seen him take a couple of moves there. Went down the inside after being passed into turn 5. An outside pass right there. Lynn Lotto absolutely showing his mastery of one of the most diabolical corners out here at Road America, and that mastery has served him very well. He's up 12 positions, and with only 0.6 gap up to Josh Corwin as he tries to push his way into the top 5, riding along right now with Jason Cotcher. He's got Eggert and Conway in front of him. A little roadblock there, and what is Cotcher going to decide to do? He is going to back out of it, but oh my goodness, paging the stewards as as Cotcher get a little wheel banging with Lloyd Conway right there, and he is going to get the better of that one. That was no offense to Jason, that was clean, that was fair, and Cotcher, as you may recall, up in the top 5 in points on the season. So this is Cotcher's best season that he's put together so far, and maybe dialing up the aggression a little bit has helped him with that. And Conway still fighting. They're side by side through turn 5. Will they try side by side through turn 6? And will Cotcher be able to do the Lynn Lotto? He does. And they're still side by side. And finally, Conway is going to push through. Will Cotcher take a little peek here into turn 8? Not the best place to try to make a move. So he thinks better of it and lives to fight another day. And of course, Cotcher has another hard charger, Dustin Braun, behind him. And he needs to keep an eye on newcomer Braun, who is sniffing around back there as Cotcher is trying to get that position back from Conway.
Yeah, that was some great epic battle going on there. But if they stayed side by side too much longer, Dustin had an even better chance. But here he comes down the inside of Cotcher into Canada corner on the outside. Cotcher holds that inside line, locks it up just a bit. Dustin goes to high-low move, tries to take that outside line around this last section. He's going to have the inside line coming onto the front straightaway. Cotcher probably has the better line here, able to keep a little more speed, but you better watch out for Michelle Lynn right behind him, and right behind him, Jose Navas. So you got a 4-way drag race up this front straightaway, JR.
Yeah, Dustin Braun definitely showing some great car control right there as he's dicing with Cotcher, testing the outside of Canada corner, testing the outside of Bill Murray Bend there. We usually don't have a lot of conflict. And so, as I said, there is some rumbling and grumbling in the Sim Racers Group Discord about Braun's skills out here. And he is definitely showing them here in his debut at Road America. And more dicing, that is, my goodness, Michelle Lynn, Dustin Braun, and Cotcher, and Jose Navas. That is a 4-way battle for P11 as Cotcher pushes his way through, and all of those cars separated by just a couple of ticks, Mike.
This is the closest battle on the track right now. Is within a lap, you've got Jose up into the 10th spot. He was 4th in line in this group, and within one lap, he piggybacked everybody and moved his way up. And just a great battle with these guys going back. Oh, just as we do it, the commentator's curse. Jose goes off the track into the kitty litter, and he lets Jason and Dustin go by. But as you watch right here, is Dustin sitting right behind the captain. I really think he's got a good chance to slingshot him here coming down into Canada. You hear him lift just a tiny little bit. Jason giving that inside line, and it's going to give Dustin the outside line. Dustin able to get a little late braking, not enough. Cotcher holding on that inside, but again, he does that high-low move, tries to get around him. Cotcher elbows out tonight, JR. He is really being a little aggressive tonight.
Yeah, and Braun kind of liking that rally move over under right there through Canada, and I would have thought that if he would have stuck to the outside move, definitely doable. A lot of exit right there, and really easy to get a good drive through there as well. Maybe he'll consider that next time around, unless he's got another move planned into turn 5. But some great fighting breaking out here. Oh my goodness, as Navas taking a little peek inside of Braun after that little head fake. I thought that could potentially turn into disaster, but this battle still raging. It's Cotcher from Dustin Braun from Jose Navas for P10 right now. And that must be a lapped car? Yeah, Poborgi is in the mix as well, but he is down a lap running in P23. But he definitely has a good view of what's going on here. And Poborgi says, I don't care if I'm down a lap, I'm going to go for it. And that is going to, he drops Novice there. No contact there, but Novice just getting nervous by the move. So Poborgi goes from P23 to P23 with that one, and Novice ends up in the grass. And now it is only Cotcher and Braun remaining there for P10. And if we can add insult to injury, there's another slow motion of Novice negotiating the grass there. But, ooh. Yeah, Novice just a little over rotation. And how much time left, Mike? About 10 minutes left. And it is now the tire witching hour. You wouldn't think that tire heat cycling and tire wear would be a thing in a 25-minute race, but it absolutely is. These tires start to go off with 5 to 10 minutes remaining. May have seen a little bit of it right there from Novice as he gets passed by Poborgi into turn 5.
Yeah, it's tire witching hour. So here's one thing you don't usually see, and if you see on the screen right now, last 4 laps, excluding lap 8, the last 4 laps, Kalen Mikovits was actually faster by 0.2 almost every lap on Stephen Case. But that last lap, Stephen was a little bit quicker. We know Stephen is kind of like the tire whisperer. He'll sit back there, he'll lurk, and he'll just kind of wait. So now's the time for him to make his move with 10 minutes to go. 2.8 seconds right now. Do you think, JR, that Stephen Case is going to be able to close that gap now?
Boy, I'll tell you that's a fascinating question, and I'm going to say that the length of the course here at Road America, these long 2-minute laps, may play into the answer to that. And you're absolutely right. Case, the last time around, turned in his fastest lap of a 157.7, and that equaled Mikovits's last lap of a 157.7. Yeah, you're right. Mikovits has lost about 0.2 in the last handful of laps, and he's not clear yet, but I got to say, I still like his chances with a 3-second gap. If he can, all he has to do is hang on to about half of that in the last, 8 minutes. That's going to be 4 or 5 laps. If he hangs on to half of that interval, he has got this win in the bag. And Mikovits definitely showed up to play here. All the pressure has been on him with Case behind him. He had to manage that gap, be consistent, be fast, and he has done that. The fast man on the course out here in the future. So a huge tip of the hat to Mikovits. I know Mikovits fans going nuts right now and watching that timer tick down. We're about 7 minutes remaining and probably about 4 laps remaining in this one, although this could be one of those, Mike, where we get 1 extra lap just barely, depending on when the leader crosses start-finish.
Yeah, that's the big long lap for these guys, and as we can see, Vroom Bali looking around Lopez, trying to maybe tease him a little bit, trying to distract him in his braking zone to see if he can get him to lock up at all. But Adrian Lopez hanging on to that 4 spot right now with Vroom Bali in 5th. Corwin not too far back in that 6th spot. Your good boy in the 6th spot. That was commentator's curse last week when we mentioned him a couple times. Hopefully that does not happen again as Vroom Bali goes on the inside of Adrian Lopez and able to hang on. So you got Bali now up into 4th. Adrian Lopez drops all the way back to the 5th spot now after starting on the front row. It was been able to hang on to that top 5 spot. That's still probably I think that's one of Adrian's best runs so far this season, sitting up in that 5th spot. Then Corwin in 6th, Eggert in 7th. But your big hard charger, as we kind of always bring it up, Max Linato up 10 spots after that rough heat race.
Yeah, and I was just watching time in scoring, a lot of flashing back and forth going on between Braun and Cotcher. They were right with each other there for a while, swapping places back and forth 2 or 3 times. Cotcher must have pulled some kind of a bobble there, because that gap between Dustin Braun and Cotcher has gone up to about 0.5. But here it is. Here is Dustin Braun getting past Cotcher on the approach into turn 1 here. And, just trying that outside and making it work, but Cotcher not giving up here, and I have a feeling that this one is going to rage on down the Marine sweep there. And is that Poborgi still sniffing around back behind? Yeah, I think it is. That's Poborgi still a lap down, but still enjoying his view of this battle between between Cotcher rather, and Braun. And here comes Cotcher again, and there's the bobble. Yeah, I was watching that interval, and all of a sudden, what had been a very close battle between those two ballooned out to about 0.5, and there's where it happened right there. And Poborgi potentially getting involved as well. So Dustin Braun up into P10. Cotcher still hanging tough, though. It's a live shot right now. That gap between Cotcher and Braun about 0.2.
Yeah, this is a great battle as these two are going back and forth right now. You see Cotcher looking on the inside, hard under braking here, looks on the inside of Dustin and is able to hold that line. Dustin's going to try that high-low. He likes to do that high-low move, but Cotcher definitely blocking it because he's run with him a couple times now, and he's been trying that same move, so he was able to block it on that inside line. And Cotcher having a great season this year. I think he's been in the top 10 just about every week, and he was almost on the podium last week, JR.
Yeah, and that consistency paying off. Cotcher sitting in P5 right now on the season. And pro tip, kids, you don't have to win every race. If you can finish in the top 5 in every race, that is enough to podium or even win a lot of leagues out there. So, drive within yourself. Let good things happen. Let good things come to you, and you can definitely cash in as Cotcher has done. Now we're back to Corwin and Adrian Lopez, and that is Varun Bali in that vintage Valvoline IndyCar livery up ahead. So that is one of the tighter battles remaining on the track. Bali from Corwin, from Lopez. That is for P4. And take a look back really quickly at Lloyd Conway and Max Linlotto. Linlotto usually don't see him get past a whole lot right here, but they're going to be side by side into turn 1. Conway will hold the inside, but I'm sorry, Linlotto will hold the inside. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind right now. Conway will hold the outside and not let him get away clean. And here we go down the Marine sweep. That's Linlotto from Conway. Yes, I really am watching what you guys are watching. It just my synapse is not firing. And very aggressive defense here by Linlotto as he's hugging the grass on the inside. Let's see if Conway can make something happen with the over-under, and can't get anything going as Linlotto gets a good drive out of 5.
Yeah, you're just in vacation mode. We understand, JR. It's okay. But Max Linlotto definitely holding on to that 8th spot. Conway, I think this is one of his better races as well, up in the top 10. But I know we talked about it, and we were curious or not. Kalen Mikowitz is pulling away still, JR, on Stephen Case. He's pulled out another half second since the last time we checked in on him. And he should be coming by this time for the white flag as he's coming around the last turn right now, as we're getting ready to go look and see where Barney's at here as he's coming up the front straightaway one more time. Here comes the white flag for that final lap, JR.
Yeah, Mikovits is going to get the white flag, and man, oh man, gap management on an expert level. And Mikovits has been the human metronome. He set the fast lap of 157.5 a few laps ago, has fallen off a little bit, but each and every lap since then has been a 157.7, one after another, and that is all he needed to do to maintain that gap back to Case. And as you said, Mike, the 3.3 seconds right now. So all Mikovits has to do is get it around the track. And I love that inverted grid. And like I told y'all at the start that Mikovits was going to have a crack at a victory by virtue of ending up P2, by virtue of that inverted grid, and it looks like that is going to come to fruition. It's Mikovits from Case, from Green, from Bally, from Josh Corwin, with some rather large intervals between all of those cars. And here's Lynn Lotto still fighting with Conway, and that one goes completely sideways. Oh my gosh. Rule of thumb is if you rear end somebody, you're the guilty party, and it sure looked like Conway overcooking that entry right there, causing that one. Conway's going to try to limp that one around, but if there's anything that drives worse than an F3 car without a front wing, I don't know what it is, but it is unfortunate that that one turned out the way it is. Lynn Lotto has just thrown up his hands and requested a tow. Lynn Lotto's race over now, which is really unfortunate. A couple top 10 runners there having a good fight until that moment. And I don't know, Mike, if you want to go back and show that one more time, but we probably shouldn't, because here comes Kalen Mikovits to take his first win of the season, I believe. Let me go back and check. Yeah, Mikovits came in P2 last week in Zandvoort for his first podium. This is his second podium and first win of the season. Managed to handle that gap behind to Stephen Case. It's Mikovits from Case, from Jason Green, and what a drive by Mikovits. Here comes Bally, Josh Corwin, Adrian Lopez coming across. Will be followed by Eggert. Dustin Braun picked up another one there by virtue of that kerfuffle that we saw involving Lynn Lotto. So Braun will end up in P8 after being almost DFL starting the heat race. So Dustin Braun, the newcomer, showing his skills out there, as many people predicted there. Michelle Lynn is going to round out your top 10, and we'll have the complete results for you in just a second. But man, oh man, fantastic action out here at Road America. This track, I was actually having a conversation with somebody about this today. This one definitely on my bucket list for an IMSA race, and I may try to make that happen this year. So we'll see if we could have some live reporting from Road America for you later on this summer. But wow, great race, Mike. What do you think?
No, that was definitely a great race, and that heat race was just a good warm-up for these guys, and it definitely did not disappoint. I mean, the only one disappointment was there's no battle up front, but you know what? That's how Kalen Mikovits wanted it. He's had some rough races early on this season, as well as in last season, and just hasn't been able to really get it to click very well. But man, oh man, did he get it to click today.
Yeah, and in a sense, that's kind of winning a psychological battle with yourself, and not to put too fine a point on it, but so much easier, at least in my mind, to go fast when you're chasing somebody, to go fast when you're trying to crank down that gap, set up a pass, and it gets your competitive juices flowing to have a target in front of you, and so much harder to be consistently quick when you're alone looking in your rearview mirror. But Mikovits absolutely showing the maturity and showing the consistency, showing the skill to make that happen as our podium lines up for our traditional podium photo opportunity there at start finish. There's Mikovits in the middle, Case to your left, Jason Green to your right, and I know that Kalen is delighted with how that one turned out. We'll see. We have a chance to chat with him a little bit later, but we're going to get those final results up for you. Mike, maybe you can run through those, and I will take a peek out in the waiting room and see who's waiting to talk to us tonight.
Absolutely. So taking the win in the final was Kalen Mikovits. Stephen Case finishing in that second spot, with Jason Green not too far back in third. Then you had Braun Bally finishing in fourth. Joshua, the good boy, Corwin finished in the fifth spot. Adrian Lopez in sixth. Christopher Eggert in seventh. And then you've got Dustin finishing up in the eighth spot. So Dustin making a good run first time out. Dustin Braun repping up into that eighth spot. Jason Cotcher finishing in ninth. Michelle Lynn, probably one of her better races so far. Top 10 for her, finishing in the 10th spot. Then you got Christopher Wang finishing in 11th. Lloyd Conway in 12th. Diego Posada in 13th. Jose Navas 14th. Alex Velasco 15th. Rafael Cardenas in the 16th spot. Then in 17th, Cougaron Dillon. Kenan Miller, rough race for him, finishing in that 18th spot. Tyrone De Silva in 19th. Thomas Brashear in 20th. Max Linlotto doing that having a rough race, getting tangled up with Lloyd earlier, making the tow, finishing in the 21st spot. Danush finishing 22nd. Glasser in 23rd. And Jacob Guyton with a rough race, one he wants to forget, finishing in the 24th spot.
All right, well, we're going to go first come, first serve here in the green room. I took a peek outside, and the captain himself, Jason Cotcher, waiting to share his thoughts about Road America. And Mike, why don't you go ahead and check in with the captain?
Oh, Captain Jason Cotcher, how are you, sir?
Oh man, I feel like I've been punching left, right, up, down, front, back. I was banging wheels with about half the field. Oh man, I'm beat. What a race! I'm adrenaline shaking and worn out. How are you guys doing?
Man, that was an epic battle, especially in the middle of the pack. Out front, Kellen Mikowicz just ran away and hid, and he definitely deserved this one as he was pulling away from Stephen Case the whole race. But there was some great battles. You had some just elbow out moments a couple times getting through the field here.
Yeah, I think I went too wide through turn 1 3 laps in a row. There was a battle pack of like 4 or 5 of us on the front straightaway. Jose got like a 3-head draft coming through the train. I saw Michelle in my mirrors. I was wheel to wheel with Dustin, and Jose comes through. I was like, I cannot get away, man. It was, what a battle. I mean, this place, philosophically with the straightaways and sucking cars together into tight braking zones creates great racing. I love it, and I just really enjoy being in a community where 5 in a pack, it doesn't necessarily mean death. I mean, giving everybody room was great.
No, it was a great racing tonight, and as you mentioned him once already, Dustin Braun really laying it down good tonight for his first race with the F3 guys.
Yeah, I had been chatting with that guy for months via email. He's a little bit south of us. He finally got an opportunity to come in and meet Tyler and I, and it was, just a great addition. He jumped straight into the endurance team. He ran Porsche Cup with Nathan and Jacob, and they got a podium. So it was like, hey, this guy's got skills, and we plugged him into F4 just to get him a chance to warm up to the elbow to elbow, and he did great. So yeah, we invited him into F3, and it's worked out really well. We kind of built the framework of what we wanted, and if by aura or laws of attraction or what have you, we just seem to find awesome people that can jump in and get it and appreciate it. And yeah, shout out Dustin, super great addition. Michelle too, recently from LBL, and obviously other leagues and such that you'd seen on slow motion broadcasting. We're working hard at it, but we're very fortunate to draw great people like that.
No, absolutely. It was a fantastic show tonight, Captain. And anybody want to thank out or give shout outs to as we kind of let you go and decompress a little bit after this high intensity?
I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight, man. I'm shaking, but yeah, I mean, SMB always, you guys are incredible. It's fun to see the program come forward. My admins, Tyler, Alex, Case, and the guys, and the new additions recently, Michelle and Dustin, and yeah, it's good fun. It's good. I'm still having a hard time kind of putting thoughts together right now. It's been a crazy week, and what a fight. But yeah, just super quality and really enjoying it. Thanks a lot.
No, and while I have actually get the microphone instead of being behind the cameras the whole time, I do want to give a shout out to Tyler. He is an awesome help. He's helped me out a few times with a couple behind the scene glitches that we've gotten, but he's been able to sort it out. So big shout out to Tyler for me.
Yeah, the guys at Gem, he came in to practice Le Mans and a couple of other circuits that he enjoys vintage racing, and I just kind of never let him go home. So, it's amazing for, SRG is really just starting to get some real momentum to it, and there's a lot of people that have put their heart and soul into it, unpaid and just for the love of sim racing and the community. And Tyler leads the charge in that. Every week he's the official for F3. He's introducing new tech that makes my life easier. He's running the show on Tuesday nights here, so I don't have to be here 7 days a week. I mean, the guy's amazing. What more could you ask for? But yeah, one of just great people here, and it's fun to share with SMB and the whole crew, and shout out to the whole SRG community. We love racing. Thanks for being a part of it.
All right. Well, thanks, Jason. Enjoy your night, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Cheers, guys. We'll see you there.
That was our. Let's see. Where did I forget where he finished now? 11th spot.
11 looks like.
Yeah, for Jason Cotcher. So, JR, who did you find out there?
Well, looks like we got Kalen Mikovits out there, and man, oh man, fantastic work, Kalen. And just as things would turn out, your P5 in the heat race put you on the front row of the feature. And as soon as I saw you sitting there in P2, I knew that you had a crack at victory. You absolutely pulled it off, and kind of mentally, how do you stay fast? How do you manage that gap, watching that gap behind DeCase, and find speed and consistency when there's nobody in front of you to chase?
It's pretty hard, actually. I think today was one of the lucky times where I wasn't like full of adrenaline, and I wasn't thinking to myself, "Hey, you're first. Hit your marks." But one of the bad habits I have also is like looking in the relative kind of mid corner. So I've stopped doing that. I only do it, after the corner now. I'm joking, but kind of on a more serious note, like this race, I was starting to pull away from Stephen Case, so I felt like I had a chance, and then the mentality was really, save the tires. I could feel that in a couple of corners, like 2, 4, 5 laps in the race, the rears were sliding a lot, so I had to manage the brake bias. So I was constantly moving it up, and then the fronts overheated, and then moved it back, and the backs overheated, and moved it front, and it was just constant like balancing act while watching like, okay, Steven's better than me in these corners, and I'm better in sector 1 and 2. So it was tough, but I'm glad I could get the win done.
Well, and not only get the win done, you turn in the fastest lap as well. So you definitely came well prepared and came to party here at Road America, got the job done. So congratulations on an absolutely fantastic drive. And coming off of a P2 last week, you must feel pretty good about where this season is heading for you here in the early weeks.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I don't think I'll be able to challenge Jason Green too much, but it's been a good season. It's good to see like my skill set has improved, and I've been practicing a lot of GT cars actually, and trying to like match the pace of like the 1 a.m. European splits. So I've been trying to bring the level up, and with that also the racecraft, like being more confident, being more accurate, not having mistakes like crashing into your teammate for no reason. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good rest of the season. I like the rest of the tracks too.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Kalen, it has been absolutely a joy to watch your development here in Sim Racers Group. It's kind of what Sim Racers Group is about, people getting together for the love of the sport, helping each other improve. And I actually had the pleasure of meeting you in person down in San Jose, and I'm looking forward to hopefully doing that again at the in-house Enduro this year. But thanks so much for stopping by and sharing your thoughts with us. And as we get ready to let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank or give a shout out to tonight?
Shout out to my dad, he's always watching too, and my girlfriend, my biggest supporters, and I really appreciate it. Hope today was entertaining, and I got lucky today. So thanks, guys.
All right. Kalen, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up our interviews here for tonight and wrap up our coverage. But what I want you to do, however you're watching SMB right now on your big screen TV, phone, tablet, computer, go ahead and subscribe to Slow Motion Broadcasting. Hit that notification icon so that you don't miss any of the action. And speaking of action, this Saturday, Weekend Warriors Formula Vs will visit Summit Point, and Sunday, our Weekend Warriors double feature back in full swing with Formula Fords at my home track, Portland International Raceway, Spec Racer Fords at COTA. Next Tuesday, the American Muscle Series. Those Mustangs will be banging doors at the Nordschleife VLN circuit. That's right, AMS at the Green Hell. And SRG F4 will head to Fuji. And 1 week from tonight, more F3 action from Portimao. So I am JR Gregory on behalf of myself, Mike Braun, and my vacationing brain and everyone else here at SMB. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are, and hang in there, baby. Friday's coming.